Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, time for another Metal Earth build, another Batman Metal Earth build. Today I have the Bat Signal, and this is the first Bat Signal they came out with. Looks like it's for the older movies. Oh no, it says the Dark Knight, so it's I guess for the Dark Knight, which are the sort of middle movies, because now they're starting to come out with even newer ones. But anyway, this doesn't look too terribly complicated, except for some of the pieces around the base might be very thin and challenging to build if you don't have the right tools. But I can sit here and talk about what I think it's going to be all day. What I need to do is open this up and see what's inside. The Bat Signal. Instructions. Metal sheets. Let's open up the instructions. Take a quick peek. This one is long ways here. We have the first page, and as usual, the line drawing, bit about insertion tabs and folds and holds, needle nose pliers, the legend, or the blue circle. You're supposed to fold a tab or bend a tab over if you see that in directions. Green triangle, if you see that in the directions, you should twist the tab. And then we have down here the two layouts for the two metal sheets. One, oh, not quite. There we go. And there we go. And it gives you the part numbers, points to where they are, so you can find them on the sheet. And then if we slide over to page 2, we have the beginning of the assembly flowchart, starting with part 1, 2, there's a little separate thing that shows you how to fold part 2 to attach it here, so on and so forth. You've got part 3, and again telling you how to fold part 2, part 4, 5, so on and so forth. Flip it over, you've got page 3, and you just continue and follow the arrows, and then slide it over. I'm going to slide over to page 4, and this is where you finish up. So not very complicated. The tools that I'll use to build these kits, these are the basics, although it doesn't seem that basic. We have a fairly general set of tweezers. We have some other more specialty set of tweezers, a thinner set. I have one that has a very pointed end. This one also had a pointed end, but I've ground it down just a little bit, and it's great for grabbing just the tabs in tight areas. I have a couple of pliers here. One is a longer needle nose, one is a flat nose. These are smooth inside. There's no ridges, so it doesn't damage any of the parts when you hold on to it. And a pair of clippers or flush cutters that are real good for clipping the parts out of the tree, which is much easier and better than trying to twist and break them out. When it comes to shaping parts, I have an assortment of different things to use. I have dowel rods that I've used for quite some time. A couple of them have had the ends sharpened with a pencil sharpener, which are great for making cone shapes. I have a inexpensive drill bit set with a lot of different sized bits to help with forming cylinder shapes. I also have a couple of step mandrels. I'm not saying you need all of this, but these are different tools that I've acquired, and I kind of go back and forth depending on the situation. Round nose pliers, or ring pliers as I've heard them called, can come in quite handy. These have rounded tips, and you can use these to shape some of the more unusual or smaller areas that are hard to get with the big fingers like I have. So I've got the metal sheets, some tools, the directions. Let's get started. These fins are just plain tedious. If I did not have such thin set of tweezers, folding this correctly would be nearly impossible. Even with the tweezers, some of the sides folded uneven and the tabs did not line up. Most of the tabs on the fins were so close together, I had to wedge them apart with the point of the tweezers so I could grab and twist them. The base for this kit is not like most of them. The sides fold down in 2 sections. It was tricky and I didn't get it perfect, but I got it pretty close. Parts 7 through 14 are all the rings that go in the back of the light, each one larger than the last. I spent a lot of time carefully finding the right size drill bit, dowel rod, or socket for each one. When I got to the larger sizes, I found it better to go for an object that was slightly smaller than the final shape. The longer pieces tend to open back up a little. This video has been edited down. I've not shown all the different attempts, adjustments, or retries of this build. I also clip out parts where I am studying directions, searching for and clipping parts, and sometimes repetitive steps. It may make this kit look like it comes together easier than it did, but there are a lot of bending and adjusting of parts to make things fit. Work slowly, be patient, and take your time. I had trouble setting part 16 into place. The tabs from the outer ring were in the way. I bent them in a little and solved the problem. I didn't realize it at the time, but I put the backplate on the wrong side. This bottom part only fits on one way. It was after attaching this part that I realized I had put the back on the wrong end. With parts 23, 24, and 25, you have to be careful that you put the two sides together as sort of mirrors of each other. The big trick that took me a while to figure out is that with part 23, you need to fold one the opposite way of the other so that you have the curved side facing the lamp. I didn't catch that at first and ended up putting part 23 backwards on one side. The farthest tab in one of the side pieces is too deep to really twist well, so I bent it over instead. To get the lamp into the arms of the base, I bent the arms on the lamp inward, slid it into place, and pushed or pulled them back out over the tabs. Ladies and gentlemen, the bat signal, or as the packaging says, classic bat signal. Not real sure exactly what they think they mean by that, but it's not a terribly difficult kit. It is moderate and it falls well within the moderate range. Little fins on the bottom, as I suspected, were difficult, tedious, but not impossible. This kit does take patience to work those little tiny pieces and do all the different rings and just put it together. Wasn't that hard. It did take a long time just because I was going slow to get it done. Probably took 2.5 to 3 hours. But in the end, it's a very nice looking kit. It was fairly fun to build, well worth the time, and will look very nice with the rest of my Metal Earth Batman collection. As always, thank you for watching. Any questions, comments, please leave them down below. And keep on keeping on.